So we're looking at the example E15.3 in the question book on page 218. So the question reads, High Street Wines is a small wine shop and you assist them to prepare the monthly remittance advices. The following is the ledger account of the supplier, finance sellers, as it appears in your accounts payable ledger. So we can see that this is the accounts payable account. Opening balance, of course, on the credit side being a liability with 10,240. These are, of course, purchases made, any returns or payments made, as well as we can see we have a settlement discount. So now it says finance sellers allows a settlement discount of 5% if payment is made within 10 days of statement date. So if you pay within the 10 days, then of course you qualify for the 5% settlement discount. On comparing the statement received to the ledger account at the end of October, you discover the following. So we looked at the statement, we looked at the ledger, we compared the two, and now we have to see what are the discrepancies. The inventory purchased on the 10th of September, so we see there the 10th of September, there's inventory purchased at a cost of 1658 should be 1568. So this amount here is overcost by, let's work it out, 1658 minus 1568, and that gives us 90 Rand. So we overcost the amount by 90 Rand, so we're going to have to decrease the account. The inventory purchased on the 15th of September of 4,038 Rand should be 4,083 Rand. So here we undercost. It should be 83, we recorded 4038. So we should add an amount to the account. So if we say 4038 minus 483, we'd see that we have to add an amount of 45 Rand. Then it says number 3, the inventory returned on the 30th of October of 650 should be 150. So here at the top, the inventory that we returned of 650 should have been 150. So we recorded too much on the debit side. We decreased the account by too much. So we're going to have to add the difference, which is 500. Then number 4 says the settlement discount claimed on the September purchase had been disallowed due to late payment. So we thought we paid within time, made a payment and deducted the discount of 512 Rand. However, they now state that we paid later than the 10 days, which means we don't qualify for the 512 Rand discount. So we're going to have to remove the discount and increase the account by 512. Then the next paragraph says all errors made in the records of High Street Wines have been made in the books of the original entry. In addition, you find the following errors on the supplier statement. The statement was overcost by 1,000 Rand, so we have to decrease the statement. And the item of 539, so we look for the item of 539, it's that item over there, had been entered on the statement as 935. So the statement entered too much. So the statement increased our account by 935 instead of 539, so we have to do the difference. Then they say the balance owing on Vainant Wines according to the statement at the end of October. So that's my balance that we have to start with. And then it says that you intend to pay the amount owing to Vainant sellers at the end of October within the 10 days, once again to try and claim the settlement discount. So now what we have to do is we have to prepare the account. So we open our books and we have Vainant sellers account and we have our remittance advice. And now we have to go and start with what the balance should be. So the balance of the account, remember that we have to start with closing balances. So it's 5863. So we open the account, of course, on the credit side with a balance of 5863. Then we go back to our transaction. The first transaction we said the inventory was purchased for that. It should have been that. So we had to decrease our account with a 90 Rand. So we have inventory with 90. The next transaction, it says inventory purchased on the 15th of September for 4038 should be 483. So here we said we have to increase our account with the difference, which is the 45 rand. So we say inventory, and we increase the account with 45 rand. The last one there says that inventory returned on the 30th of October of 650 should be 150. So again, we said you will return, the amount is overstated, so we have to increase our account with the 500 rand. So we say goods returned, we have to correct that of 500 rand. Right. Then the last transaction refers to the settlement discount. It says that we didn't qualify for the settlement discount. So if we didn't qualify for the settlement discount, can we still decrease the account with the 512? No. So we have to remove the 512 by cancelling this. We have to put it on the credit side. So our settlement discount, 512, we add it back to the account. So now we balance the account. So we balance the account, we say balance carried down, the balance must be brought down, an amount of that minus that, 6830. Okay, so now our account is balanced. So now we need to see this account that's balanced, is this account correct? So of course we can balance the account like that, make it nice and neat. Okay, so now we have an account. Now we go to the remittance advice, and it says in the remittance advice that the balance of the remittance advice is 8226. So we start with the balance of 8226, right? Then the first one says that the statement was overcast. So what do we have to do? We have to deduct. So we had an overcast. We deduct 1000. You can put it within brackets. I'm putting the minus sign in front. Then it says that the item of 539, which was that item over there at the top, remember, was recorded as 935. So we purchased for 539. They said we recorded for 935. So we of course have to decrease the statement with the difference. So let's go to that again. So it's 935 less 539, and the difference is 396. So there was the inventory item which they overcast of 396 minus, remember, they took the much. So now we balance the account again, and you would see the balance of the T account and the balance of the remittance advice reconciles. Right, so that's the start of this question. It's first to do the reconciliation process and to complete the remittance advice. The next part of this question now asks you to say, besides preparing the journal entries, we need to prepare the journal entry to do the payment. So now keep in mind now, we have to pay them, right? So we owe them an amount of 6830. That's what we got there, right? And we need to pay them based on purchases made, right? Remember, we pay them based on what we purchased. However, if we look here, there's an amount of 512 rand. Now that 512 rand cannot be included in how much you have to pay them. Think of it this way. We owe them 1,000 rand, or we bought from them. You bought for 1,000 rand, right? Then you bought for 2,000 rand. So now you want to qualify for a discount. So you pay them 2,500. But they say you don't qualify for the discount because you paid too late. Right? So how much should you pay them? You're supposed to pay them the full 3,000. So we're adding back discount that we subtracted. That discount that we subtracted is not on purchases. Remember, they say that allows discount if 5% was made on payment within 10 days. They allow a settlement discount if it's made. So we can't have discount on discount. So this 6830 is the amount less discount. So we can't have discount on. So now that we've determined that we owe the supplier 6830, we now need to consider the discount. So first, in order to calculate the discount for this period, I need to work out how much I actually owe for this period. So we owe 6830, however the discount comes from the previous payment. So the first thing we need to do is we need to say the settlement discount of 512, I need to subtract. So how much do we actually owe for this period? An amount of, let's do the calculation quickly, 6318. Then we say that 6318 is the only portion that the settlement discount applies to. So we say 63 equals 6318 multiplied by 0.05. And we get to a discount of 316 Rand. So that is the settlement discount that we can claim. So when we do the general journal entry, it's going to be debit accounts payable, credit bank because we're making a payment, and credit the settlement discount, which is of course my interest in this case. So the amount that accounts payable needs to decrease by is the full amount, 6830. The amount that bank needs to decrease by is the 6830 minus 316. So my discount is 316 Rand, which is that amount over there. However, my bank amount is not this minus 316, but the total minus 316. So keep in mind that the settlement discount is calculated based on the amount for this period, but the amount we owe our suppliers is the full amount. So this would be my payment general journal entry. Rewatch this video if you're struggling to calculate the payment portion, and that would be example E15.3.